Hi, Business 300 students. Welcome to week 11. I'm going to be going over a few things that are important for this week. The first thing I'm going to go over is the research and recommendation report. So this is going to be your final report in the class. It's going to be due at the very end. It's individual. I didn't get a chance to go over it last week. So basically, last week you kind of started thinking about topics, but I wanted to go over it again just to give you some more kind of ideas. But essentially, you're going to be writing a report on problem solving. You're going to identify an issue either in a business or a product or a company, and then you're going to be coming up with a possible solution for that problem. You're also going to be doing posting a draft, which I will be giving you some feedback on. You're going to write a memo for that. You're going to have to submit some slides for your report and do a flip grid, kind of like what you did for the business report, but this one will be a little bit longer. It'll be 4 to 5 minutes long. And then you're going to write a memo at the end talking about how you applied my feedback to your final revision. And then here's the grading criteria. It's basically, do you know your audience and the purpose? Are you being clear and concise? And how's the tone and the formatting? So everything you've learned so far about formatting, tone, clarity, being direct, you can apply all that stuff to this final project. But the first thing you need to do is figure out a real world kind of problem that you want to solve. There's a ton of different ideas. And actually, if you go back, I did give some ideas for report topics in accounting, finance, human resources, information systems, marketing, management, etc. Some really good ones that people have done in the past is they've written reports on income inequality within a company. So, like for example, Amazon, like how much the CEO is making versus the people in the bottom of the totem pole, kind of like the regular workers, and how that could be better managed or like the money could be better like spread about. They also looked into like how much CEOs are making in stocks as opposed to just like salary, because a lot of them are getting more stock options and money from a company. So it kind of appears as if they're paid less than they are, but they're paid more. Other things that people have done is like kind of marketing flops. So like when Pepsi did, I think it was Pepsi did a campaign during the Black Lives Matter protest, and they had Kendall Jenner kind of walking around with Black Lives Matter, like selling Pepsi, and people were really upset and they thought it was kind of in poor taste, obviously. Or, there was like the Gillette fiasco or Peloton. Some of their ads have been kind of sexist. Anyway, just any ads, or you can talk about like diversity in the workplace, having more diversity as far as like hiring more women in a company, more people of color in a company. How would you like go about recruiting more people of diverse backgrounds and encouraging them to apply and then paying them adequately? So people have done that before. People have looked into companies that have had like big disasters like PG&E with the fires, or toxic waste problems, or buildings just needing to be retrofitted, or like WeWork with the problems with kind of like just out of control lifestyle. People have also talked about things like benefits, like companies should have better benefits for women, for men, for paternity leave. There's just so many different ways you can do this. And so anyway, those are some ideas. But you want to think of something specific, something that you can really kind of approach. So not like a larger topic, but something that's like specific to a company or a product, and then addressing that thing and thinking about who you would write this recommendation report for. Would it be for the CEO? Would it be for the company at large? Would it be for the the people on a board? So really thinking about that. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, I've also posted some examples. So here's two. I'm going to just quickly go through them. And so this was one about Lululemon and sort of like some of their code of ethics. And this was a really well done report. So there's one example. And again, these examples are just there. You, of course, can do different types of reports. This was on a company called Fossil. And I believe this was about work-life balance. So, feel free to look through some of these. Like this one looked really nice. It was really professional. And again, lots of, bullet points, not a ton of like super long paragraphs. Just, they did a really good job. with that. So those are some examples. This week, what you're doing is you're going to be looking at some research. So again, you can just use Wikipedia. Wikipedia is fine. You can Google stuff. I mean, really look out. If you're really having trouble, you can contact the library at SFSU. They're very helpful for finding stuff. But again, like, there's no limit to the amount of sources. There's no real minimum. I mean, you at least have to have one. But I would, go for more. But like, you can look at social media, you can look at blogs, you can look at anything that you want. It doesn't have to be through the library database. And definitely Wikipedia is a good way to start. So you're just going to be posting 2 sources in this forum for this week. And that'll be due before midnight on Friday. You're also going to be writing a letter of recommendation. Now, these are really good to do because sometimes, like, employers, teachers, if you ask for a recommendation, they'll ask you to actually write one. I've had to do this a lot, write my own recommendation letter, which feels really weird, but honestly, it's the best thing to do because then you get to tell the person exactly the kind of things that you want them to talk about. But for this, I'd really like you to pick something specific, like a specific job, a specific industry, or even if you want me to look at like a recommendation letter for a college or a grad program, you can do that too. But just make sure it's in letter form, 1 page, easy to read. And again, like, making sure that you, in the first paragraph, introduce your purpose for writing, and yourself, obviously, discuss kind of why you'd be recommended, and then, again, offer thanks and information for follow-up. So basic stuff for a recommendation letter. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's about it for week 10 and 11. So if you guys have any questions, and then also this week we're going to be doing a optional Zoom meeting, which is right here. So if you guys want to meet this Thursday at 6, I will be online. All right, guys, have a great day.